What's happening, Hot Wheelers? Joe Motor here with you again. We're looking today at the latest release of M2 Machines auto trucks, and I have to say I got a little bit lucky again. I went back to the Walmart that I found that Superette the other day, and I thought I'm going to go back and just see if they dumped another case on top just for the heck of it. And I went back and they had reset the toy department. And as you know, sometimes around Labor Day, the late August, early September, some of the stores, especially Walmart, start resetting, rearranging, and cleaning up some of their aisles and getting ready for the fall and the Christmas season and all that stuff. So I just happened to get lucky and get in there when they had just cleaned up and reset the whole Hot Wheels aisle. And so I started looking around and noticed there was some M2 there. Now this Walmart never has carried M2 in the past. So I was shocked and really pleasantly surprised to see some M2 on the shelves. And then when I looked closer, I realized they had just stocked the most fresh, newest release of M2 auto trucks. And I thought, what are the chances? I've had to go far and wide to find M2 truck releases. This is the last one I found, and Matt Slycord sent me one of these as well. And most of the M2 I find is the Detroit Muscle or some of the older releases of cars. So I don't find the trucks very often. So I was completely excited, super excited to see that not only were they stocking M2 trucks, but it was the latest release. So I went to town on it. Didn't find any chase pieces, but I did find 4 pieces I had been looking for. So we're going to check them out here today. On the right here are the 2 Studebaker releases. On the left are the 2 Chevrolet Apache truck releases. There are 2 more trucks in this release. It's the Dodge COE. And I didn't pick that one up just because I just went with these 4. It's sort of an army green color, and it actually is the chase piece. I think there's a regular COE truck, a regular stake bed, and then I think the stake bed is the chase piece, but didn't find the chase piece, but that's all right. So I decided just to pick up the Studebaker and the Apache. I'm really going after these Apache trucks and some of the Studebakers. I missed the tow truck, which was the release before this one, so I'm going to have to pick that one up somewhere. But let me show you these first, and then we'll get on to the Apache. So here's the sort of regular or the factory new release of the 51 Studebaker 2R truck. And here you have white wall tires, beautiful sort of dark chocolate brown with the yellow Studebaker text there, sort of a burnt orange interior. And then you have just beautiful detail here on the hood, under the hood, and then look up here, you've got that yellow scraper, really cool with the fog light assembly, and you can see the headlight detail just faintly there. If I show you the front, all you can see really is the scraper, which is brand new and untouched. And then the rear end, it's got the Studebaker tailgate there, and the lensed taillights. And when I say lensed, I mean they are tiny little transparent plastic pieces. They're not painted and they're not tampoed with the color stamp. So these are actual lensed taillights. So very nice looking piece. And wouldn't normally be after this sort of thing, but what M2 is doing is taking a casting and doing a variation on that casting to do 2 different models or 2 different variations in one release, right? So this is the newest release, and they take the Studebaker casting and do 2 different things with it. So here's the brand new Studebaker, untouched, and then they do the muddy version, which is just awesome. I really love this variation. Now, some of the basic line variations aren't that great. It's like a Mustang with a spoiler and a Mustang without a spoiler. So big whoop, right? But this idea, the concept of doing a fresh, brand new one and a muddy used version or boneyard version is really smart, in my opinion. So take a look at that. It's just got a big old thick film of dirt and mud on it. All over the wheels, the headlights, the hood, all in the glass. Really cool. Goes all the way to the back here, so you can see the nasty red mud bumper. It's got a dull sort of matte finish to it. And then the scraper in the front's all muddy. Just really cool. And you can see the comparison here, the brand new one here and the muddy version. and then side by side they're just really cool. So I think this is a fantastic idea. I hope M2 does more variations with the muddy version and the new version. They did the same thing with the tow truck. The Studebaker tow truck has a new version and a muddy version, so I'm gonna have to pick that up for sure. And then this is probably my favorite. Like I said, I'm really after the Apache 4x4 pickup trucks, especially the ones with that spare tire right here. And this one is kind of a minty green with a Forest Ranger tampo on it. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Here we go. As you can see there, it says for official use only, Forest Ranger. And then we've got the Chevrolet insignia here in the front. What's going on with my camera here? Come on. There we go. Sorry about that. It's having confusion. So I love that spare tire on the step side there, and then look in the rear here. You've got like three little water tanks. It looks like. I guess those could be gas, but I think those are just little water tanks putting out forest fires. And then here, I'll show you the front end here. Those are chrome headlights with the nice white Chevrolet grille, and then above the right front headlight there is a siren. Got the opening hood, opening doors on all the M2 models, and then it's got the yellow bubble up top there. And then the rear here with the Chevrolet tailgate and the red lens tail lights. And then all of these, by the way, are limited to 5,000. You can see here they're limited to 5,000. I think the Chase is 500. Sometimes they do 3,000, but I think the Chase is, by default, it's to 500. That's a beautiful piece. And then for the variation, they did the same truck, except they put a brush truck version. So it's exactly the same in the front, but then you have this sort of utility bed, which is awesome. So you've got the Forest Ranger tampo, just like before here, on the door. Exact same front end here. The siren above the right front headlights. You've got kind of a milky white hubcap or wheel. And then the rear end is that utility bed, which is awesome. Fire prevention unit. And I love the red fire hose. Looks like a little spool back there of a red fire hose. Perfect color contrast there between the green and the red. And then you've also got the 3 water tank things in the back there. And here's the rear of that one. So I love this thing. I love both of these. I think these may be one of my favorite releases of all time from M2 Auto Trucks. I just think they're being really smart about the variations in these and the color choice and the concepts behind these, with the muddy version and the regular version, and then doing the Forest Ranger and the brush truck version. Really cool, really catering to I think a discerning adult collector. And I only have one complaint. So they've gone to this new packaging, and as you can see, they put a J-hook, little J-hook piece of packaging here on it. And I guess the idea is so in case they're running out of shelf space but they have peg space, you can peg these things. I think it's a bad idea, because here's the old version, the old way of doing things, which is a nice clean box that wrapped around the acrylic case. It was perfect because they come in these boxes here. I'll show you really quick. They come in these little cases, and they would stack them in the case just like that. And they still do that. They still get shipped to Walmart like that, and Walmart still displayed them like this on the shelf, not on the pegs. So you still shop through the cases like this, right? Pick them up, look at them. And for adult collectors like myself, you can keep them in the package. They're easy to stack and store, and the package doesn't get damaged. So they decided to go to this, which if Walmart is not going to peg them, that totally defeats the functionality of these. If they do peg them, look what happens. Look at how that package just sits there and bends and totally warps the package. So guess what you're going to see this Christmas when all these M2s start getting pegged? You're going to start seeing bent, torn packages right along here. And that's going to end up tearing up the back and tearing up the front. And so if you're an adult collector and you like to keep these in the package, this is a total failure already, in my opinion. I mean, it looks okay, but the functionality of it just doesn't work. That's not going to look good on the pegs, and it's going to destroy the packaging. So, M2, I'm not pretty sure you're not listening, but if you are, please go back to the regular box packaging that hugs the acrylic case. This is the best way to do this particular line. The basic line has gone to cardboard cards with a plastic blister. I think that's fine. It looks okay. You know, that doesn't bother me as much. But to take the premium line of heavy metal trucks and cars and to put J-hooks for the pegs on them, it's just not going to work. And it blows my mind that the package design team or the quality control team looked at that and thought, yeah, that'll be okay. It's not going to be okay. It's not going to work. So that's just my prediction. A few other folks have talked about it as well. And I don't like to complain a whole lot. I mean, these castings and this release, one of my favorites. I think it's wonderful stuff, awesome quality. But the packaging is really, this is just not going to work in my opinion. So let me know what you guys think. Just as a side note, they also had the 1/24th scale Apache 4x4 pickup in red. It's got the spare tire on it and everything. I didn't pick it up. I'm not really a 1/24th scale collector, but it was bad to the bone. It was heavy, it was big, and I almost grabbed it. But for 20 bucks, I'll save it and see if I can find a chase piece maybe. But these worked for me, and if I go back and there's more left, I may pick them all up. So fantastic release overall from this from these M2 machines. Let me know what you're finding in your stores, and we'll continue the video rampage soon. So thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next time.